What's up, guys? It's the Amplified Man, B motherfucking C, and this is Extreme Rules 2018 Amplified Booking, or as I call it, Dumb as Fuck Rules 2018, because it doesn't feel extreme at all. There's not really any extreme matches on this card, extreme stipulations, even though there is a match called Extreme Rules match, but that's between Nia and Alexa. I mean, how extreme can they really get? Oh boy, watch out for those kendo stick shots. They're gonna be vicious. That's gonna make the whole pay-per-view extreme. But the task that I have today, in this weekend, the task that I have, the job that I have, the daunting task, is to turn this shit card into gold. If I was the head booker, the head writer, the head creator of this show that Vince McMahon handed me, these 10 matches, how would I book and write and create this show? That's the rules that I'm given. That's the task. And when it's all said and done, we hear what I would do, and then we watch the actual show Sunday night, and then we come to a conclusion. Did the Amplified Man beat WWE in his booking and his creation of Extreme Rules 2018, or did Vince McMahon in WWE beat the booking of BC Amplified? I'll be the first one to admit if and when I ever take an L from WWE's pay-per-view. I haven't yet. I don't feel I have yet. I feel every time I do an Amplified booking, my booking is 100 times better than theirs. But I give you guys how I would book it, and then I sit back with all of you. We all watch Sunday night. And we see if WWE can beat me. I want to be beat by WWE. I just haven't yet. And I really don't think I'm going to on this show. Because what I got planned for this show is pretty fucking epic. I don't feel it's overbooking at all, but maybe just a little bit here and there. I mean, it's Extreme Rules. We gotta do more than just the average pay-per-view, right? Instead, WWE has already given us an average-looking card. I'm gonna shut up about the rules of Amplified booking and how this goes down, and I'm just gonna get right into it. Match number 1, and may I just say, I don't do the kickoff matches. So there's 2 kickoff show matches, a tables match with New Day Insanity, and there's a match between Andrade Cien Almas versus Sin Cara. I'm not going to go over them because it's not the main show. So, just wanted to address that. Now, back to the main card here. Match number 1. I got this thing kicking off with a steel cage match. Braun Strowman taking on Kevin Owens. Now, in this cage match, I would give them about 17 minutes, really play up the cage, really play up Braun Strowman's strengths, let Kevin Owens get his comedy in there, maybe even the upper hand once or twice. But the end of this match, I have Kevin Owens, and this has to be an open-top cage. WWE has different variations of cages. They got the closed top, they got the old-school barred format, they got the cage format. I'm okay if it's the barred or the cage, but it has to have the open top. In the end of this match, I want Kevin Owens trying to climb over the top to escape. Both feet touch the floor, you win the match. So Owens knows this. Owens is trying to go over. Strowman jumps up like a fucking cheetah, meets him up there. So I want Owens on the other side. He's dangling off. If he could just escape Braun Strowman, Strowman is hanging over the cage, grabbing Owens. If Owens can just escape Strowman, Owens just has to jump off, or maybe take a few more steps, then jump off. He wins the match. And more importantly, he escapes this monster. But Strowman has a grasp on him. And Strowman just gets this idea. For Strowman, it's not even about winning the match. For Strowman, it's about inflicting pain, right? It's about being the monster among men. It's about causing chaos and carnage. So he's looking at the fans in attendance, the crowd, and the crowd kind of knows where he's going with this. And Strowman's like, yeah, should I? And the crowd's fucking chanting him on. And Strowman just turns this grab into a chokehold. Again, Strowman is hanging over the cage. Owens is already on his way down. Strowman has him in like this chokehold, and he turns it into a choke slam. Strowman catapults Owens off the cage. Owens goes airbound through one of the broadcast tables below. So technically, Kevin Owens wins this match. His feet end up touching the floor first. It can't be a Brock Lesnar Greatest Royal Rumble type situation where Lesnar goes through the cage, but his feet really never touch the floor. No. Owens has to go through the table and make sure he does a roll or whatever the fuck, but his feet need to touch. Owens wins this match, but Strowman is up there with a smile on his face, because it was never about winning this type of match with Owens. This was just about extracting some pain and carnage on Owens. So both men win in this situation. Owens wins the match, Strowman wins because he got what he wanted all along. And the fans win because what a fucking epic ending to the first match at Extreme Rules. Owens goes airbound from above midway on the cage, so it's a little bit of a stunt. You gotta have the airbag, mattress, whatever the fuck it is, underneath the broadcast table, which is what they do for Shane McMahon when he dives off, all that good shit. And we already know Owens will take the chance if the stunt is done properly, performed properly, trained properly. Owens will definitely do this. So safety first. Obviously, I'm not trying to put a man's fucking career or life on the line. So it is a little bit of a stunt, but they can absolutely pull it off. And this is something Owens has absolutely done in the future. I mean, in the past, and will do in the future. So a little above midway on the cage, we start off Extreme Rules with a little bit of a stunt. Owens goes airbound through the fucking table. Owens wins the match. Strowman's happy as fuck. Strowman goes back down, goes through the door, comes outside. There's personnel all trying to attend to Kevin Owens, but Strowman isn't done yet. Strowman picks up Kevin Owens, puts him up in his power slam. Crowd's going fucking nuts because he's eyeing another table at ringside. Strowman runs with a power slam, sending Owens through another table, man. This will really get the crowd jacked up. Again, this is the first match on the entire card. And we're having some fun already, man. So Owens definitely wins the battle, but Owens loses the war. Strowman wins this war, man. And Owens is absolutely just flatlined on the outside. Strowman, after a little lap around, playing to the audience, he finally leaves. Owens is left there getting attended to by medical personnel, referees, suits and ties. And that's how we kick off Extreme Rules. A fun cage match where everybody wins and everybody saves face. Strowman picking up a simplistic win here, which we all think is going to happen, doesn't do much for Owens. It does much for him, Strowman. And you could say, but BC, they got to keep his momentum. He just won the Money in the Bank briefcase. But what about Owens? Owens can't be fucking losing all these matches at pay-per-views, man. So how do we come to a mutual agreement, a mutual understanding? Owens wins this match by Strowman chucking him off the cage. And then Strowman comes back down with a smile on his face, because he never gave a fuck about that anyway, and picks up Owens, sends him through another table, man. You're telling me Strowman's not looking like the fucking absolute monster that he is? Yes, he is. And Owens, technically, he can go on now for the next several weeks and claim that he beat Braun Strowman in the cage. Everybody fucking wins here. I love that shit. So book it, Vince. So next up, what I would have, match number 2. That's right, this ain't my main event. This is Bob and Roman. Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, man. This is going to be match number 2 in my booking. And we're going to have fun with this, man. This is a match that is most likely going to get shit on by the crowd and a lot of the audience at home. So let's make this motherfucker fun. Give them their initial 10 to 15 minutes in the ring, okay? But let's not get this out of hand. 10 to 15 minutes should be the max up front. Now, I got some fun shit planned. Some epic shit, actually. So, 10 to 15 minutes is all you need up front. And what I would have is toward the end of this initial part of the match, they start just going buck wild on each other, beating the fuck out of each other. You start to see real hatred between the two. It leaks onto the outside. They're beating the fuck out of each other. The referee at this point is like, this isn't even a fucking count out. This is them just beating the fuck out of each other. The referee doesn't even go to a count out. He just double disqualifies them. Because they are not unclean, man. They are just closed-fisting each other in the mouth, non-stop. Referee's like, fuck that shit. Double disqualification. No count-out. No contest. This is a double disqualification up front. Referee's like, fuck no, man. This is unreferable. Unreferable? Unreffable. This is unobtainable to think that I can bring any law and order to this match. So the referee's like, no, double DQ. And of course, the bell, ding, 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 it doesn't fucking stop shit. Roman and Bob are beating the fuck out of each other. Suits and ties, referees, we just saw them in the first match. They're all back out. They're breaking this shit up. How fun is that to end that initial part of the match? And I say initial because we ain't done yet. Not by a long shot with these two. So we're breaking that up. Kurt Angle comes out. You could even have his music fucking play for the crowd, right? Fucking isn't he from Pittsburgh or some shit? I might be wrong about that, but play to the crowd. Right? Let's play that shit, man. Let's rock out. Fuck. Now we're having fun, man. Now we're at a fucking concert. Everyone's singing along, you suck, whatever. And then Kurt Angle drops the bombshell. This is Extreme Rules. There ain't no match ending in a disqualification. This match is being restarted, and it's being restarted in a Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred match. Boom. Just like that, Roman and Bob are staring at each other now. They're broken up at this point, luckily, by 5 to 10 referees in suits and ties apiece. But now they know they're about to really go to war. That was just the appetizer to the main meal. Referee's like, fuck, they ain't even gotta be in the ring right now. Ring that shit. Suits and ties and refs are like, fuck, let them go. They just let the free reigns go, and, pun intended, free reigns. Roman and Bob just go at each other like a fucking war stable versus a war stable. Colliding. And they're on the outside, and they continue where they left off, bashing each other in the mouth. Eventually, this leads up the rampway. Eventually, this leads to the backstage area. And eventually, this leads even into the street. When they say Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred, it's no holds barred, and it's Falls Count Anywhere. Now, in the street, I want them battling for a couple of minutes before we see and hear a car storming up. As Roman turns around to see what the fuck this car wants. This car, it's obvious it ain't stopping. Now, it's not going 100 miles an hour, but it's coming at some fucking velocity. And it fucking hits Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns goes flipping over the hood of this car. Roman Reigns is down and out. The car keeps going a little bit before it comes to a screeching halt. Roman Reigns just got hit by a fucking car. And yes, this stunt can happen, because it happened at Survivor Series 1999 with Stone Cold Steve Austin getting ran over, which at the time we thought it was Triple fucking H. Nobody knew for sure at the time, but it was Stone Cold in the backstage area. He was trying to chase after Triple H. He goes into the parking lot, and he's looking all around to where fucking Triple H is. Can't find him. All of a sudden, this car starts roaring up. And he actually runs over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or what was probably a stunt person, right? Obviously. But it was supposedly Stone Cold. And that was fun as fuck. That was one of the best storylines back in those late 90s. Who ran over Stone Cold? Or the fact that Stone Cold got ran over, period, was fun as fuck. We haven't seen anything like that since, man. Why not? Because people got lazy. In that fucking parking lot, or in the street, whichever you want it, at Extreme Rules with Bob and Lashley, with Bob and Roman, you can have a couple of seconds where you pan over to Bob Lashley, and then you pan back, and you have a fucking stunt person in there from behind Roman, so it still looks like Roman, and he's the one getting fucking ran over, hit by the car. You go to fucking run around the car, the camera's all fucking wiggling, and you pick up the shot with its actual Roman Reigns down and out. This type of stunt shit happens all the fucking time. They just get lazy, and they don't want to have fun with it. I have Roman, stunt Roman, or if Roman wants to take the shot, man, I don't think Vince would allow that. But Roman gets hit by a fucking car. And again, the car keeps going a little bit, but then comes to a screeching halt. And the driver gets out to reveal himself, and it's Dean fucking Ambrose. Ambrose just hit Roman with a fucking car. And he's got this look on his face that's just that lunatic fringe. Oh well, you got in my way, but what was this purposeful? Was that the intended target? We soon come to a clear agreement that it was when Ambrose gets back in the car and screeches and hauls off. And that car goes barreling down the road or out of the parking lot if you're in the parking lot. And Roman's left there. Basically, Dean Ambrose left him for dead. You don't know if he's still alive or not, but Dean Ambrose didn't even care. So it becomes quite evident Ambrose did this on purpose. That was his intended target. But when Lashley comes to, Lashley's like, what the fuck just happened? So you see that there's no real connection between Ambrose and Lashley. At least Lashley's like, what the fuck was that all about? Before Lashley can even go over for a pin or anything, it's more about, is Roman even alive at this point? So all those suits and ties, those referees, even Lashley's a little fucking concerned. Medical personnel, they're all attending to Roman Reigns. This is a very serious situation now. This match is not ending. Kurt Angle is even there. Paige is even backstage. Everybody's attending to Roman Reigns. It's quite evident there's not going to be a clear winner. Even though this was Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred. Shit just got real, man. A human being, Roman Reigns, one of Vince's top stars, just got fucking ran over, basically. Hit by a car. By former best friend Dean Ambrose, of all people. This situation got serious. There ain't going to be a clear winner. Everybody wins in this situation. Everyone saves face. Roman shouldn't be losing this match. Bob Lashley should not be losing this match. This is a good, fun way, exciting, intriguing, innovative, right? From that one time back in '99 with Stone Cold. Goosebump type way to end this match. And again, I have this match at number 2. So right off the gates, the crowd can be more into it. Because they don't gotta worry about having a match on that they don't want to see last. By having Roman and Bob out there in match number 2, maybe the crowd will have a little bit more fun with it because they know they ain't got to worry about it later in the night. So there's so much positive shit to come with this match being in spot number 2. And I just had a lot of fun with this match. You can call it overbooking all you want, but I call it fun and exciting booking. And isn't that what we want on a show called Extreme Rules? Otherwise, all we're going to get is Roman and Bob out there having their 20-minute match with the fans shitting on it. No, the way I booked this, we had a lot of fucking dynamite fun and exciting shit happen. And that's only match number 2 on the card. And we just saw Strowman and Owens tear it up. We just saw Bob and Roman actually tear it up with some fun, exciting finishes on both matches. And then we go on to match number 3. Already I'm turning shit into gold. And speaking of shit, match number 3 is Constipated Corbin versus Finn Balor. This is another match that up front a lot of people don't want to see because we don't know why we're seeing it. Nobody wants to see Constipated Corbin versus Finn Balor on a pay-per-view. Especially a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules. But have no fear, the Amplified man is here and he's booking this shit. So I'm going to have some fun with this. Give them 12 minutes up front. They don't need more than that. At the end of this match, I want Constipated Corbin putting the fists to Finn Balor's face in one of the turnbuckles. Just fucking, just not stop him. Hauling ass on Finn Balor. To the point where the ref is like, dude, break it up. Break it up. I'm going to disqualify you. And Constipated Corbin is hearing none of that bullshit. Corbin keeps beating the fuck out of Finn Balor in the corner, and the ref finally has to disqualify Constipated Corbin. Corbin doesn't even hear the initial bells. Corbin's still beating the fuck out of Finn Balor. Until finally Corbin realizes what the fuck just happened. And he's like, are you kidding me? And he grabs the referee and he's yelling at him to change that decision. Restart the match. The referee will have none of it. He shoves the referee a little bit and he grabs the microphone. And Constipated Corbin is demanding that Kurt Angle come back out into the arena and restart that match. So Angle does oblige. Angle comes back out. He stays up at the rampway, and he's got a mic, and he's saying, why should I restart this match? And Constipated Corbin is like, A, because it's best for business, and I'm sure you don't want me making a phone call to Stephanie McMahon. Do you, Kurt? Because we know when Stephanie gets mad at you, Kurt, what that means. But not only is it best for business, but you just restarted a match before mine because it ended in a DQ. And you said, no match tonight's going to end in a simple DQ. Those were your words, Kurt. So you have to restart this match. You can't show favoritism now, Kurt. And while this is happening, Balor's actually slipped to the outside and grabbed a steel chair. He brought that shit into the ring. Angle sees this up at the rampway and he says, you're right, Corbin. You're right, Constipated Corbin. I can't show favoritism. I can't not restart this match when I did say earlier, no disqualifications tonight. This is Extreme Rules. So, be careful what you wish for, because you want this match restarted, you got it. Ref, restart this match. No disqualification. Corbin's is like, fuck yeah. Constipated Corbin is like, that's right. He's playing to the crowd. I run this show, not Kurt Angle. My decision is final. He turns around. Bam! Chair shot by Finn Balor. It's no DQ. This is what Constipated just argued for, and he got a taste of his own medicine. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Balor's the one taking out Corbin. Now, I wish this was back in the day when you could give headshots, because this moment really calls for Corbin turning around and Balor just landing a headshot, chair shot on Corbin. But because you can't do headshots anymore, this has to be a vicious shoulder shot, and then Balor has to get him on the other shoulder, so he's getting it from all ends. He's hunched over. Two to three more back shots from the chair by Balor to Constipated Corbin. At this point, Corbin is down and out. Balor goes up to the top rope. Coup de grace! Devastating. He gets some height on this shit, too. Covers Constipated. 1, 2. That's a motherfucking 3. And that is a fun way to end match number 3. A fun, intriguing, exciting way to end a rather simplistic, boring match up front between Balor and Corbin. But we just made it a lot of fun, man. We added some shit to it. We added some entertainment to it. And when it was all said and done, Finn Balor has his hand raised over Constipated motherfucking Corbin. Now, match number 4, we're going into an Iron Man match. Quotes, because it's not really an Iron Man match. An Iron Man match is 60 minutes. But we'll call a 30-minute match an Iron Man match. I know, BC, we've seen 30-minute Iron Man matches before. I know, but they're not Iron Man matches to me. They're just a 30-minute match. That's all it is. But we'll call it an Iron Man match. Champion for the IC strap, Dolph versus challenger Seth Rollins. Now, in this match, we got Ziggler, Rollins. They're obviously going 30 minutes. I don't want a lot of falls here, because realistically, they're not going to beat each other a lot in just 30 minutes. So maybe 1 versus 1. Rollins has a fall, Dolph has a fall. And for the most part, maybe Dolph's fall, maybe Drew McIntyre has a hand in it, but for the most part, McIntyre hasn't really been a big presence until the end of this match. That's where McIntyre really starts to insert himself, but it backfires. Toward the end of this match, Dolph, either McIntyre had Rollins, and Rollins was able to escape, and Dolph was about to hit McIntyre, stopped himself, and Rollins got the upper hand. Or maybe McIntyre went to deck Rollins, and he accidentally decks Dolph. Either way, at the end of this match, the train goes off the rails for Dolph and McIntyre, and it doesn't go according to as planned. Rollins gets the upper hand, and in a kind of shocked victory, shocked because it's 2-on-1 basically at the end of this match, McIntyre and Dolph versus Rollins, in a way, because McIntyre really started to assert himself. So in a really shock ending, toward the end of this match, the final seconds, Rollins gets the victory over Dolph. This is one of the rare occasions I am okay with a roll-up victory, and it's in a big moment for a championship strap. But Seth Rollins defeats Dolph Ziggler in this Iron Man match, 2 falls to 1. And Rollins becomes your new Intercontinental Champion. This sets up something down the line to where maybe McIntyre can take it from him in the future. And I say this because after Rollins wins this match, there's dissension between Dolph and McIntyre. McIntyre's picking up Dolph, trying to dust him off, and Dolph shoves him aside. Dolph is irate that he lost that strap, A, and B, that McIntyre didn't save that strap for him. Dolph's whole reasoning for getting McIntyre was to make sure that he keeps gold when he gets it, and here he is already losing it. Dolph is pissed off. McIntyre has his face like, dude, you don't want to go there. Dolph smacks McIntyre square in his face. McIntyre's like this, and he just fucking jolts back. He is staring a death stare into Dolph Ziggler, like he's about to kill a motherfucker. Dolph flattens back on his back, drops to his back, and rolls out of that ring, man. It's like Dolph Ziggler just saw a ghost. McIntyre looks like he's going to fucking kill Dolph Ziggler, and Ziggler's looking at McIntyre like he knows he's about to kill him. So Dolph's kind of backpedaling up the rampway, and McIntyre looks furious. This sets up something really cool starting Monday Night Raw and going forward. We already see the train going off the tracks. We see the dissension. There's not too much more you can do with Dolph and McIntyre. We need to really see McIntyre fly and shine on his own. So now's the time. Let's break that up. So now you kind of have to see Monday Night Raw for that segment to see what McIntyre's retaliation is with Dolph. So not only did we get the new champion in Seth Rollins, but we got a fun turmoil and dissension between Dolph and McIntyre that now we kind of have to see what happens next. It's a cliffhanger. That's what WWE doesn't do anymore. Cliffhanger storylines, where we have to see what happens next. So again, that is a fun, interesting, exciting, entertaining way to turn this 30-minute Iron Man match into a very newsworthy kind of situation going forward. On Monday Night Raw, you got to see the new IC strap holder. You got to see what happens next between Drew and Dolph. So, 30-minute Iron Man match, yeah, that's not epic like a 60-minute, but it still has a lot of news stories coming out of it. So that's a fun way to book that 30-minute Iron Man match. In match number 5, I have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. This is Team Hell No, the challengers, taking on champions Bludgeon Brothers. This is a simplistic match. We kind of a little bit overbooked the first few matches. Now we settled things down. Kane is the one that kind of fucks this up for Team Hell No at the end of this match, and he eats an L. He actually takes an L from the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers retain their SmackDown championships. This is going to be a little shocking because I think the majority of us think that Team Hell No is walking away with the tag straps, and that's probably going to happen Sunday night. But in my booking, no. Everybody thinks one thing, let's throw a curveball. And I don't think Team Hell No needs those straps right now. I know I've said in the past I think it would be cool, but I think Daniel Bryan is going to re-sign with WWE. And if that's the case, I don't want him being held down by a tag team or a tag team championship. Daniel Bryan, just like Drew McIntyre, needs to fly on his own and shine on his own. So I don't want them holding the straps. And I think the Bludgeon Brothers losing the straps Sunday is really going to hurt them because I don't feel, even with the straps, that the Bludgeon Brothers have a lot of momentum right now. So they need to keep those straps Sunday, and they need to start really gaining momentum. But I see the Bludgeon Brothers defeating Team Hell No. No cheatery, no trickery, no dastardly deeds. It's Kane Kane fucks up, and he eats an L center of the ring. And at the end of this match, Daniel Bryan's kind of looking at Kane. Kane's like, I'm sorry. Kane's all depressed. And Daniel Bryan's a little pissed, a little depressed at losing, but he just taps him on the shoulder and he says, you know, things happen. Daniel Bryan walks off. Kane's in the center of the ring like, I fucked up. And this is a good way on SmackDown for Kane to go to Daniel Bryan and say, you know what? I'm the weak link here. I'm going to step away. Because Kane has his mayoral thing anyway. This was a fun little excursion for Kane. It's a fun nostalgia thing to bring back Kane and Daniel Bryan for Team Hell No, but they need to separate. And how fun is that on SmackDown if Kane goes to Daniel Bryan, says, I was the weak link, I need to step away. Because in their first run, their first go-around as Team Hell No, Kane was always calling Daniel Bryan the weak link, or asserting that that's the fact. that's the case. And Daniel Bryan was pissed that Kane always looked at him as the weak link. So this is a fun, full circle way. Everything comes full circle on SmackDown. A couple nights after Extreme Rules, where Kane goes to Daniel Bryan and says, I'm sorry, I ended up being the weakest link. I'm stepping away. Again, I'm thinking for the future. I just don't book for the night, guys. I book for the future. What happens next between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns? We have to find out. What is Drew McIntyre going to do to Dolph Ziggler when he gets his hands on him? We have to find out. What's going to happen with Daniel Bryan and Kane? We have to find out. Is this the end of Team Hell No? Even little things like that. Cliffhangers, man. Those type of things are needed. I know it's back-to-back, but this is fun. Let's keep it going. Match number 6, I would have the Raw Tag Team Championship match. That's right, back-to-back. I know this is kind of funky booking, man. Back-to-back with SmackDowns. Why separate them all the time? Second match, SmackDown Tag Strap. 7th match, Raw Tag. No, put them back-to-back, man. The Team Hell No Bludgeon Brothers match wasn't that long, so we didn't lose a lot of fan interest. And we go right into the Leaders of World versus B-Team. Just like the SmackDown Tag Straps, this match shouldn't go more than 10 to 12 minutes either. So you're not losing a lot of fan interest. I want this to be high-octane, high-velocity, ferocious, man, for those 10 to 12 minutes. I want to see Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy go as fast as they have gone in the last 5 years, man. Make this match fun for the time that they're in there. And at the end of this match, just like the Bludgeon Brothers with a clean victory over Team Hell No, I want Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the Leaders of World, to have a clean victory over the B-Team. Nothing overbooked, nothing over-amplified. Simplistic victories in match number 5 and in match number 6. Both tag team matches, simplistic victories. However, at the end of match number 6, when it's all said and done, I want the Leaders of World and the B-Team to actually shake hands, man. This will get a good pop from the crowd. A salute to the B-Team that all of this, they came from nothing. They came from catering, and they got a tag team championship opportunity. That's badass, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. So a nice handshake here would really get the crowd popping, and a big salute to the B-Team. Like, hey, you made it this far, man. That's pretty fucking cool. But I want the celebration to be ruined by the authors of pain. They get in that ring and they destroy everyone. The B-Team flattened down and out. The Leaders of Worlds just got deleted for the moment. Authors of pain cause chaos and destruction. And they end up being the last tag team standing in this match. Really drive home the fact that the Leaders of Worlds, their next opponents for those tag straps, make no mistake about it, it is the Authors of Pain. And we're going to do this shit at SummerSlam. So, it's a simplistic booking of the match, and then afterwards we get some extracurricular activity that's fun, exciting, and what? You guys know, entertaining, man. Book all of that shit, Vince! Now, next up, we'll go into match number 7. This is Carmella in her SmackDown Women's Championship taking on Asuka. And Asuka Carmella, this match is going to have James Ellsworth in a shark cage high above. I don't know why. I don't know what this... how this makes anything extreme on this card, but this is what my task is, right? This is the card that Vince handed me. I have to now book it and make it creative and make people give a fuck about it. And I'm going to. I would have Carmella come out to the ring with the rest of the members of what's remaining of Absolution, right? Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I would have them come to the ring with Carmella. Maybe earlier in the night there was a promo and backstage interview with Carmella, and she says, this is my protection for tonight. I don't trust Asuka, and I know that she's going to try to find any way to beat me, even if it's not fair. You know, play up the I'm the victim when I'm the princess, but I'm also a victim, and Asuka's really the bad girl here. So she's bringing out Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville as protection. So already the deck is stacked against Asuka, right? You're facing Carmella, you've got Ellsworth in a shark cage above you, and around the ring you got Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So the deck is stacked against her anyway. At the end of this match, throughout the match, I want kind of Sonya and Mandy Rose to kind of be interfering a little bit here and there, but especially toward the end of this match, things really start getting heated between Mandy Rose, Deville, and Asuka, and they really start to interfere to the point where the referee has had enough. And he is throwing them out. The crowd always pops when the referee throws somebody out at ringside. So I think this is the moment for that. And they'll get a good pop. And Carmella's now enraged. How can you get rid of them? Like, that was her golden tickets. That's the way Carmella is going to win this match. Ellsworth is in a fucking shark cage, so he can't help her now. So she brought them out to help her, and now they're being thrown out. So as the referee is between the ropes, telling them to get the fuck out, Carmella's flipping out. So now the referee is between her and the lady he's throwing out. This leaves Ellsworth to take out a chain from, around his neck, right? He's got the fucking Homie G chain that he always carries. I don't know if that's part of his gimmick anymore, but he could bring it back for Sunday. And he's got this chain and he's dangling. I wanted to dangle it first, not just drop it. Because the crowd, all of the focus is going to be on the referee, Carmella, and Mandy and Sonya getting thrown out. So by him dangling it, people will slowly start to notice what's going on up there. And they'll start telling their friends around fucking the crowd, like, look, Ellsworth's got the chain. So slowly but surely, the crowd's attention and focus will shift back to the ring and the shark cage. And that's where you'll see Ellsworth dangling the chain, trying to get it to Carmella. But Carmella is still too busy yelling at the referee, who's yelling at Sonya and Mandy to get the fuck out away from ringside, kicking them out. So while that fiasco is happening, Ellsworth's trying to get Carmella's attention. And Ellsworth, being the clown that he is, the idiot that he is, storyline-wise, maybe in real life too. No, in real life he's a good guy. But storyline-wise, character-wise, he's an idiot, right? And he accidentally drops the chain. This long, big gold chain, drops it right into the clutches of Asuka. So when Carmella does finally turn around, the referee's still trying to kick out Mandy and Sonya. Carmella turns around, Asuka's got it. She's looking at the crowd like, should I use it? The crowd's like, fuck yeah. Asuka's like, all right. Boom! Nails Carmella, knocks her flat on her ass, if not knocked out in total. Finally, the referee is able to kick out Sonya and Mandy. Obviously, once the deed's been done, that's when the referee can now turn around. That's how it works. And he turns around. Asuka gets Carmella into the Asuka lock. So Carmella wasn't completely knocked out because she's just riding pain right now. If pain was an animal, Carmella's riding that shit and getting flung and tossed all around. Pain is kicking Carmella's ass to the point where Carmella is screaming all of the princess out of her, tapping the fuck out to the Asuka lock. We have finally, a new women's champion. Her name is Asuka. It should have happened at WrestleMania. It happens in my booking at Extreme Rules, and it happens in a really fun way. How did we use Ellsworth pretty fun in that cage? We made him an integral part in the ending that was fun, exciting, and what, guys, you know it by now, entertaining. But we ain't done yet either, by the way. But Asuka celebrates her championship win. I think Pittsburgh will really eat it up, man. Everyone will be loving that moment. Carmella's down and out. She got nailed by a fucking gold chain, and then she got the fucking Asuka lock put on her. She ain't looking like the princess at that point, man. Asuka gets the big W. Asuka ends up leaving after a multi-minute little celebration. This leaves a pissed off, beaten down Carmella in the middle of the ring. But this also leaves Ellsworth high above. Ellsworth doesn't want to come down. The referee is signaling to lower the shark cage. Ellsworth is yelling back, no, don't bring me down, because he knows he's about to land into the clutches of Carmella. So the referee's like, what? You don't want to come down? Ellsworth's like, no. Carmella finally gets back to her feet. She's holding her arm. She's battered, and she's looking up, pissed off. Like, James, get down here now. Ellsworth is like, hell no. Referee's like, I gotta bring you down, bud. He signals, the cage starts slowly coming down. Ellsworth's like, no. Maybe the crowd will hopefully be having some fun with this. Carmella's like, maybe Carmella even has the chain at this point. But something fun, man, where when Ellsworth gets finally down, the shark cage hits the ring, and the referee has to open it. We get some more fun dialogue. The referee's like, I gotta open it. Ellsworth's like, no, he's trying to keep it shut. Carmelo's ready to fucking bash him and bruise him. Finally, the ref is like, I have to. He rips open, and it only takes one rep. This plays along with this stupid, idiotic character of James Ellsworth, the weakling. It only takes one referee to pry the cage open as Ellsworth was trying to hold it shut. And Ellsworth's like, fuck no, I'm not coming out. And Carmella's like, then I'll come in. Carmella goes into the cage, starts beating the shit out of Ellsworth, man. Kicking, punching, throwing him around the ring. Ellsworth gets a beatdown. A super kick, maybe 2 super kicks. Carmella ends up leaving Ellsworth knocked out in the middle of the ring, man. I think the crowd will have some fun with that. This isn't a face turn for Carmella, no. This is just Carmella pissed off at Ellsworth. This is a good way to separate Carmella and Ellsworth now. Just like Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, and just like Daniel Bryan and Kane, it was fun to get to this moment, but now we have to start separating towards SummerSlam and beyond. I feel that Ellsworth and Carmella, they reached their climax, their high point. You got to break that up now. I don't think a lot of people even wanted to see them back together when Ellsworth came back. Now, especially, it's time to separate. This is a good way to call it quits. And again, a little bit of a cliffhanger. What happens to Ellsworth and Carmella now? Now, with this cliffhanger, you won't have to wait long. I'll explain that in a second. But finally, Carmella ends up leaving. Ellsworth is in the middle of the ring. No referee, no suit and tie, no medical personnel is attending to him at all. He's just knocked out. And we cut to a video package of Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe a network package along with it. But we have a little bit of a break. And when we come back to, we have match number 8. It's for the the United States Championship. And this is Jeff Hardy, the champion, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, the challenger. I want Shinsuke to come down the ring first, down the aisle. And when he gets in the ring, he notices Ellsworth is still knocked out in the middle of the ring, even after all the promo packages and network commercials, whatever the fuck they played. Ellsworth is still down and out. So when the lights hit back up, Shinsuke is looking at Ellsworth like, what the fuck? Nobody, still to this point, no medical personnel, no referee, nobody gave a fuck about Ellsworth. Usually when somebody's knocked out like that, Vince sends out people. No, storyline-wise, nobody gave a fuck. Ellsworth is just, everyone's going on like business as usual. That's going to be the funny part. So finally, Ellsworth gets some water, Shinsuke gets some water and starts dumping it on Ellsworth. Ellsworth starts slowly coming to. He gets another water, he gives it, he starts sipping Ellsworth like he's a baby. Shinsuke takes Ellsworth to the outside, gets a chair, and sits him down. Hands him a water, slaps him in the face a little bit, like, wake up. So Shinsuke's watching over Ellsworth. Weird, right? I mean, if you know behind the scenes, if you know a lot about, if you're a smart fan, then you know in real life, Ellsworth and Shinsuke are actually friends. They spent a lot of time together. I believe, I don't know if it was flip-flop, but Shinsuke spent some time at Ellsworth's home or vice versa. Maybe it was the other way around, but they're really close. And so, for a smart fan, this definitely makes sense, but for the casual fan, they're like, what the fuck? Like, Shinsuke's kind of nurturing Ellsworth back to life. It's kind of funny. Hardy comes out. This match shouldn't be more than 15 to 17 minutes long. At the end of this match, I want Shinsuke to drop to his knees like he's going for his low blow, but this time the referee actually catches it in time. And he dives down and he blocks Shinsuke. And he's like, no, and he's pushing Shinsuke off into the corner. And Shinsuke's like, what, no speak English, whatever the fuck. Ellsworth, who's still at ringside this whole time, he was sitting there. Right? Almost like a forgotten entity. He slips in the ring when the referee is trying to tell Shinsuke no. He gives a low blow to Jeff Hardy. The crowd is like, no, what the fuck? Like now it's looking like an actual alliance. Ellsworth dips back out to his seat like he's all droggy. He's playing it off really good. When the referee turns around, he's like, how the fuck is Hardy knocked out? He's looking over to Ellsworth, but Ellsworth is looking all droggy. So the referee's like, he wants to blame Ellsworth. He wants to call for the bell, but Ellsworth is playing it off like he didn't leave that seat. So what the fuck happened to Hardy? The referee knows something fucking happened, but it's not enough evidence to call for the bell. When Hardy starts to try to come to, man, he's in agonizing pain. Boom, Shinkasha. Shinkasha? That's a new one. Shinkasha. Kinshasa. I'll get that right, guys. I almost wanted to say Kinshasa, like Kinshasa Banks. Anyway, he delivers that nasty motherfucking leg to the face of... I'm starting to lose the rails, guys. I'm sorry. This video is going so long. I'm losing my fucking voice, and I'm losing my fucking mentality. My mental state. But a Kinshasa to the head of Jeff Hardy knocks his head off. And this is a 1, 2, and new. That's right. It's a 3 count. And new United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura. And this is the way where everybody wins here, man. Shinsuke finally gets his championship on a night where, I mean, some would say it should have been a World Heavyweight Championship, but at least it's the United States, man. It's a big prize for him. And it's on a night where Asuka also got her championship. Again, a lot of people like myself think both should have gotten it back at WrestleMania. They finally get their payday at Extreme Rules. And Shinsuke does it in a fun way where he's aligning himself now with Ellsworth. And if you're thinking, well, yeah, but BC, do we want to see that? Yeah, it's going to be a fun thing, man. I think Ellsworth, he's contractually signed with them anyway. You have to put him with somebody. Shinsuke, I think down the road, if they don't book him correctly, which I don't have faith in WWE doing, I think his heel turn, his heel run, is going to lose some luster. It's going to start to go off the rails a little bit. So, by throwing him that championship, and having him have a heel run with the strap, but also with this weaselly manager, who you can also call his translator in Ellsworth, I think that's something that's fun, intriguing, and something that they can work with going forward. I miss those weasel managers with the good superstar, the hotshot superstar. The weasel manager is always attached to him back in the day. Bobby the Brain Heenan with Andre the Giant. Harvey Whippleman with fucking Kamala and Akeem. You had fucking Jim Cornette with Yokozuna, you know, and obviously these are much bigger guys. Shinsuke's not a huge guy, but Shinsuke is a good dastardly heel right now. You put him with a weaselly manager / translator, and I think you're going to see a lot of fun shit. And I don't want to see Ellsworth with Carmella anymore, so let's put the two good friends in real life, storyline-wise, let's put them together, and I think you could have some fun dialogue with them in the future. And again, Jeff Hardy saves face. He's dropped his strap, but it was because of fucking Ellsworth working with Shinsuke. Love that shit, man. Book it! Somebody! Goosebumps, man. So far, we got a fun fucking card, guys. You gotta admit, man. New champions in the right way. Other champions held their straps. We had some fun cliffhangers. And this leads us into match number 9. What's supposedly dubbed the Extreme Rules match. It's not really extreme for me. It's Nia Jax, the challenger, versus Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. Now, in this match, I want the deck stacked against Nia Jax from the beginning. I want Mickie James out there for Alexa Bliss. I want the rest of the Riot Squad out there. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. Yeah, that's right. They somehow aligned themselves with Alexa. Alexa, just like Carmella did with Sonya and Mandy Rose in their match, I want Alexa to pull the same type of deal. Hey, you know what? Work for me for the night, man. I'll make sure that your career skyrocket. I'll give you championship opportunities in the future, whatever. But there's a deal worked out, and you have all 4 women, Mickie James, Liv, and Sarah, along with Alexa, and it's a beatdown. This is Extreme Rules, man. There shouldn't be any disqualifications in this shit. If it's extreme, all 4, almost just about the entire match, are trying to beat the fuck out of Nia Jax. And for a good 10 minutes, Nia Jax is holding her own. This is going to make Nia Jax look like the monster that she should be booked as. She's beating the fuck out of fucking Sarah. She's beating the fuck out of Liv. She's beating the fuck out of Mickie. She's beating the fuck out of Alexa. But eventually, it's too many people. 4-on-1. Now, the whole time, Ronda Rousey, don't forget, guys, is front row. She bought a ticket, supposedly. She's front row. Everybody in the crowd, everyone at home watching, is watching a beatdown. This is like 1993. Do you remember the casket match? It was Yokozuna versus The Undertaker in a casket match. To that point, Undertaker doesn't lose casket matches. So, Cornette and Yokozuna, they all knew that they had to come up with something special. So they brought basically the entire heel locker room out to the match. And for the last 10 fucking minutes, they just beat down The Undertaker. That was the match. Beating down The Undertaker, 10, 15 guys on one, and they finally stuffed The Undertaker into the casket. Undertaker loses the match. Yokozuna wins. That was fucking huge. I'll never forget that. We haven't seen anything like that since 1993 Royal Rumble. Let's bring that shit back. And this is only 4-on-1, much more believable. Nia Jax is his entity. She should clearly be walking out with the strap. But 4-on-1 took its toll. When this was all said and done, Alexa Bliss picks up the victory over Nia. But then they're not done. This becomes like the Mean Girls Club. And they start beating down Nia Jax after the match even more. Now the whole match, the crowd was wondering, is Ronda Rousey going to actually come out? Is Ronda Rousey going to jump the barricade? And is Ronda Rousey going to help out Nia? That never happens until the end of the fucking match. Ronda Rousey jumps the barricade, and Ronda Rousey starts cleaning house. Liv Morgan, fucking Sarah Logan, Mickie James, everyone but Alexa Bliss. But you can't jump the barricade. Ronda did. I mean, she's supposed to be a fan. You can't just jump the barricade. Ronda did, and Ronda started beating the fuck out of everybody. This is where Ronda Rousey comes face to face with fucking actual security and police. That's right. Vince or whoever the fuck sent out actual police because I think it has to be a little bit more intriguing than just security. And they're the ones that are basically separating Ronda from getting her hands on Alexa. She took out everyone else. Again, this is all after the match. Nia already lost. And then everyone started jumping Nia Jax again. So this is where fucking Ronda had enough. Ronda's like, this is too much. The match is even fucking over. And this is going to get a huge pop from the crowd too, by the way. But after she takes out everybody but Alexa, the police are able to get down there because you cannot jump the fucking barricade as a fan. And that's what she is at that point. She bought a ticket and they cuff her, man. She's going to jail. I want some old school Stone Cold Steve Austin type shit. No, we're going to escort you out. No, handcuffs. When fans see the handcuffs and they know that the police are taking you into custody, man, you get a pop. Your fucking value goes up. That crowd will be fully behind Ronda now. Not only did she jump the barricade and beat the fuck out of everybody, but now she's the badass rebel. Everybody loves the badass rebel. That's why we used to love Stone Cold. Ronda Rousey beats everyone up, and now she's going to jail for it. She's being escorted out of the arena by police. But she's still giving this death stare to Alexa Bliss. Like, I'm not done with you, bitch. I'm not done with you, motherfucker. I'm coming back for you. They can't hold me in jail forever. I'm coming for you. That is a fun way to turn this non-Extreme Rules match into some fun shit. Yes, Alexa keeps her strap, but we had a lot of fun, intriguing, entertaining extracurricular activities afterwards, man. So again, Bliss keeps her championship. Jax, it took 4 motherfuckers to beat her, and Ronda Rousey finally had enough. Ronda beat everyone up except for Alexa because the police were able to intercept her, handcuff her, and take her the fuck out. You can't jump the barricade as a fan. But soon enough, Ronda will be a superstar again on Raw, and Alexa Bliss can't hide forever. That's the story being told. Book it, Vince! Fucking A! Somebody book it! We got the goosebumps. We're going into match number 10. This is the main event. This is heavyweight champion over there on SmackDown, AJ Styles versus challenger Rusev Crush. For this match, guys, showcase Rusev, absolutely. He finally made it to a main event. He finally made it to the main stage. He finally got his heavyweight championship opportunity. Now, at the end of this match, we want Aiden English to get in there. The referee's got to get taken out somehow, right? Phenomenal forearm. Rusev maybe gets behind a referee. I don't care how the fuck, but the referee goes out for a couple minutes here. He gets knocked out. Knocked down, anyway. And you know, when a referee gets knocked down, even if he just accidentally push him, he's down there for 5 minutes. So the referee goes out. This slips in Aiden English. Aiden English has a steel chair. He wants fucking, he's holding up AJ Styles and he wants Rusev to bash Styles in the head. Rusev doesn't feel right about winning the championship this way. You start to see a moral compass in Rusev. Even though he's the bad guy in the match, Rusev doesn't feel comfortable giving a chair shot to the fucking head of AJ Styles. This is pissing off Aiden English. What are you doing? I'm helping you here. Hit the motherfucker. Pick up your strap. And Rusev's like, no, I don't want to. Let it go, let it go. So finally, he tells Aiden, let him go. Aiden lets him go, but Aiden's pissed. Rusev goes to get the upper hand on AJ. Aiden English turns him around like, what the fuck are you doing? Rusev is like, get out of the ring. I'm doing it on my own. I'm winning this my way. And he's telling Aiden to get down like, I don't need you. This obviously upsets Aiden English. And Aiden English takes the chair and nails Rusev in the back with it. Takes out Rusev and starts a chair beatdown, guys. Ref's down still. AJ Styles is still down. But Aiden English is giving a beatdown. Aiden English turns on Rusev at the end of this match. This will shock the crowd a little bit because even though we think it should happen soon, I think a lot of people, A, didn't expect it to happen, and B, didn't expect it to happen that night. But I would have Aiden English have enough with Rusev. Like, if you're not willing to win this by any means necessary, then I don't want to be with you. And he starts bashing Rusev nonstop with that chair. This brings out fucking Lana. Before any other official suit and tie, this brings out Lana. To help save, Lana gets between Rusev and Aiden English. Lana is willing to take a chair shot for her husband. And Aiden English is like, oh, don't tempt me, motherfucker. I'll do it. And AJ Styles comes out of nowhere. But during that time, AJ Styles was able to get the upper hand. AJ Styles, phenomenal forearm to Aiden English. Aiden English rolls right out of the ring. Referee is now starting to come to. AJ Styles is pretty sure he knows exactly what just happened, and he feels bad. He's looking at Lana like, fuck, man. He's got his hands in his head. But the referee, he doesn't know what really happened. He's coming to, and he wants control back. So the referee is telling Lana, get out of the ring. Lana is crying. She's in tears right now. Like, no, this is my husband. He just, she's trying to tell him what happened. She's trying to protect him. But the referee, all he knows is there's a match going on and I was just knocked out for 3 minutes. No, I'm getting the fuck back up and you're getting out. So the referee is able to get Lana out, but Lana won't really leave the ringside. The ref is able to get Lana out, but Lana is still, like, basically her head is still in the ring, yelling over to Rusev, crying in tears. And AJ Styles is looking at Lana like, I'm sorry. This is where I really would love blood. I know Vince doesn't like blood, man, but this needs to be old school Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin. WrestleMania 13, I believe it was, when Bret Hart had Stone Cold in the sharpshooter, and Stone Cold was so badass. He was bloodied, he was badass. He would not tap out, even though he was bloody and beaten. He actually passed out. And we ended up respecting Stone Cold more than we ever would if he even won that match at WrestleMania 13 against Bret Hart. I want that to be that situation. I just don't know if we're going to get blood. But I would love for Rusev to have blood all on him, man. Just fucking huge welts on his back and maybe even his head busted open. But AJ Styles is looking at Lana like, I'm sorry. I have to win the match. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I can do. And he sets Rusev up in the calf crusher. And Rusev is in pain. But there's so much pride in him, and there's so much fight, that even though he's battered, beaten, and again, I would have him bloodied, he refuses to give up. He refuses to tap. But it's too much, obviously. From the beatdown of Aiden English and AJ Styles having the calf crusher on him, needing to win the match, Rusev passes out. The referee has to call for the bell. AJ Styles is still your heavyweight champion of the world. Rusev was not able to pick up the strap from him. That is a Goosebumps way. Fuck fun, exciting, entertaining. That is a Goosebumps way to end that main event, man. If the story is told correctly, and this heel turn between Aiden English over Rusev happens the way it should, right there, you're invested, man. And then all of a sudden you see Lana and the emotion she has covering her husband and willing to take the hits for him. And the tears in her eyes. The story just gets more emotional and you're more invested and the goosebumps are even more. And then you see The look between Lana and AJ, like, I'm sorry, I have to end this. Like when Shawn Michaels super kicked Ric Flair. What was that? WrestleMania 24? That was when Ric Flair's supposedly final match. And Shawn Michaels looked at Ric Flair from across the ring and said, sorry, I love you. Super kick. And just like that, in one kick, ended Ric Flair's career. Supposedly, Ric Flair came back for a few matches after that, but that was the end of the line for Ric Flair at that time. I want that to be that type of story. AJ's looking at Lana like, I'm sorry, I have to end this. And then he puts on the calf crusher, and you see the pain and the emotion in a bloody Rusev. But he would not give up. He passed out. Dude, my own booking just gave me goosebumps. I mean, what the fuck? Seriously, guys, we have a lot of fun on this station, but on this channel, but if you just book things like, if you took the extra time to really gauge what is really a goosebumps moment, what would really get the crowd so captivated and just intrigued, and a cliffhanger and everything into one. If you took the time, you could do things like that. And we're not even done. You think we're going off the air. I want the little logo to come at the bottom left screen too. Lana's back in there covering her husband, trying to make him come back to life. AJ Styles, even though he won the match, he's still distraught that he had to do it in that way. And the little logo comes out, Extreme Rules, copyright 2018. You think we're fading the black and going off the air. Out of nowhere, Samoa Joe hits the frame, and he immediately gets AJ Styles into the Cohina clutch. Snap mirrors back AJ. AJ is in the clutch of Samoa Joe, and he is not letting this thing go. So we didn't fade to black. Samoa Joe is ending this motherfucking show. AJ Styles is no longer distraught. AJ Styles is fighting for his life now until he passes out. Suits and ties, referees, security, everybody is in that ring. Nobody can separate Samoa. Usually these type of things end with the guy finally separating, right? He looks like the badass. And you have a beaten down person in the middle of the ring who just got the clutch on him. No, this time we fade to black. Extreme Rules goes off the air with Samoa Joe still having that clutch out. AJ Styles is passed out. He's knocked out, passed out, he's done. And that's how we fade to black. We don't know what the fuck happened to AJ. If that doesn't leave you on the edge of your seat after what we just saw with Rusev and AJ, and then it ends with a shock ending with Samoa Joe passing out Styles, and he never let go. It goes off the air. We don't know what happened. We don't know if AJ Styles is going to be in that hold the rest of the night. Did AJ Styles even survive? The old Taz, right? What Taz used to say. Now Samoa Joe is basically used that now. Beat me if you can, survive if I let you. And that's how we went off the air. You talk about cliffhangers. We have to see what the fuck is happening now with this. I want to see now. What do you mean fade to black? What do you mean it's off the air? I don't want to wait till, wait, but that's Monday, that's SmackDown. So now I got to wait till Raw. Are we going to get any news on Raw? I got to find out. First of all, I gotta find out how fucking Roman Reigns survived his fucking car crash. Him getting ran over. So I gotta tune into Raw anyway. McIntyre and Dolph, what the fuck is happening with that shit? But I really gotta tune into SmackDown, man. Forget this Ellsworth and Shinsuke connection. Where's that gonna lead to? But Samoa Joe, did he ever fucking let go of that clutch? What happened to AJ Styles? Is he alright? This sets up Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, for the strap at SummerSlam. I told you, I don't just book for the night, I book for the future. I'm gonna shut up, guys. That's how I book Extreme Rules 2018. If Vince McMahon comes to me and says, this is the card you have to work with, turn shit into gold, my friend. That's what I'm giving Vince McMahon. You guys know, man, some of this might be overbooked. Yeah, you know why? It's Extreme Rules. It's not a regular pay-per-view. We need to overbook this a lot. I don't think I overbooked it a lot. I just made Extreme Rules extreme. I made a lot of chaotic, fun, intriguing, exciting, entertaining moments. You will never forget this Extreme Rules. And it started out being a forgettable card. Take the time, have fun with every single match. make them entertaining, and I promise you we'll never forget this shit. Is Vince McMahon and WWE gonna beat my booking? We'll find out Sunday. But I gotta be honest, I think I'm already gonna declare a W on this one, guys. I'm declaring victory, because I don't think they can top my shit. That's Extreme Rules 2018, man. Goosebumps on my own booking. That's when you know something's good. I'll see you guys next on Monday for Extreme Rules, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the ultimate review and reaction show. I'll see you guys Monday, and we'll talk all about the aftermath of what Vince McMahon actually gave us. For now, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Extreme Rules. I'm the Amplified Man, and I'll check you later.